Alright, let's dive into this. Imagine if NATO had a younger, more ambitious sibling popping up in the Middle East. Suddenly, a Turkey-Saudi-Pakistan defense pact isn't just a regional gossip topic. It's a potential game changer. But wait, why should you care? Because if this alliance expands, it could reshape power dynamics from the Mediterranean to the Gulf. Let's unpack this. So, here's the deal. Ankara, Riyadh, and Islamabad just signed this Mecca Defense Pact, right? It's basically a mutual protection agreement where an attack on one is an attack on all. Sounds familiar? Yeah, NATO vibes. But Turkey's Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan already wants to grow this club. His words: bring all countries under this umbrella. Bold move. But who's even eligible for this exclusive regional insurance policy? Egypt's the first name on the table. Turkey's Fidan calls Cairo a natural partner. But here's the catch. Egypt's got its own diplomatic tightrope to walk. They're part of the R4 group with these same countries, but they're also a U.S. ally. If they join, does that mean risking American military aid? Egypt's peace treaty with Israel is sacred. Would this pact force them into a corner? Personally, I think Egypt's leaders are asking, do the benefits of joining outweigh the risk of alienating Washington or Tel Aviv? And let's be real, Cairo's not going to sign anything that drags them into Libya's chaos or a Gulf spat they didn't start. Now, what about the Gulf states? Former Qatari PM Hamad bin Jassim Al Thani is all for inviting the entire GCC, Qatar, UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman. But let's not kid ourselves. The GCC's history is messy. Remember the 2017 Qatar blockade? Trust isn't exactly their strong suit. Still, analysts like Bakir point to Qatar and Kuwait as most natural next steps. Why? Because Qatar's been burned before, like when Israel bombed Doha last year. Kuwait, meanwhile, is a regional diplomat who'd love a security upgrade. But here's the twist. These countries might want the protection without the obligation. If this pact turns into a you-have-to-fight-our-wars deal, they'll bolt. They're all about flexible partnerships, not ironclad treaties. And then there's Azerbaijan, Syria, Jordan. Random choices? Not really. Azerbaijan's Turkey's BFF, Syria's a wild card with Russia ties, and Jordan stuck in a tough neighborhood. But what's fascinating is the bigger picture. This pact isn't just about security, it's about sending a message. To Iran? Maybe. Turkey insists it's not aimed at anyone, but come on. If you're Tehran, you're watching this alliance grow and thinking, here we go again. But here's my take. This expansion talk is more about symbolism than reality. Sure, Fidan's talking big, but alliances don't materialize overnight. Egypt's hesitations, Gulf rivalries, and legal loopholes? They're all speed bumps. Elgindy, the Chatham House analyst, nails it. This is a coalition of the willing that'll grow case by case. Translation: it's a work in progress. And let's not forget, Turkey's in NATO, but also cozying up to Russia. How does that balance? It's a geopolitical juggling act. So what's the endgame? If this pact expands, it could create a new regional order. Or it could fizzle into another empty promise. The real question is whether these countries can align their messy interests without a common enemy. And if they do, what does that mean for U.S. influence in the region? Because if Washington's watching this unfold, they're probably wondering if their own alliances are about to get a lot more complicated. What's your take? Could this alliance actually hold, or is it just a PR stunt? Let me know in the comments. Let's brainstorm this together.